So yeah, I saw the Galaxy movie on Friday, and I'm talking spoilers, okay? So if you haven't seen it, come back in like 5 minutes. Not really any spoilers other than like the characters that were shown. That's literally all you can spoil for the movie, because it's Mario. So if you don't want to know if you haven't seen it yet, then you can leave for 5 minutes or mute the stream. But it was good. Like, I think they want to set up a Smash Bros. Movie. I've heard mixed reviews about it. Yeah. So, as a Mario fan, as someone who grew up with Mario, I grew up with New Super Mario Bros. Wii on the Wii. I played it with my dad. I played with my family. I played, obviously, the earlier Mario games as well on, like, a Game Boy Color and on the Wii when they had, like, the virtual console, whatever. So, I played New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I played Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2, 3D World, the Wii U stuff, the 3DS. I played 3D World on the Wii U and the 3DS. Or not on the Wii U, because it wasn't on the Wii. Was it on the Wii U? Hold up. Super Mario 3D World. No way they released that game 4 times or 3 times. Was it on the Wii U? It was. Super Mario 3D World was on the Wii U, but it was also on the 3DS, correct? It was. No, that was Super Mario 3D Land. Jesus fucking goddamn, dude. So, either way, I've played almost every single Mario game that isn't like a spin-off. I've played a lot of the spin-offs, but every like mainline Super Mario Brothers, World, Land, all the Switch Mario games that aren't like spin-offs, I've played all of them. And so when I went to this movie and saw it, I like every single scene, I was like, oh my gosh, like I know this character from this game or the music playing, right? Like that's pretty much what the whole movie is. And the reason I say that, it's not that it really matters if you've played all the Mario games to watch the movie or even to really enjoy it that much. Like if you just kind of like Mario, you'll still enjoy it. But it felt like a movie made for like 25-year-olds or like 30-year-olds or like the age 20 to 30. That's what it felt like. And that's not really a bad thing. Or actually, no, hold on. I take that back. It felt like it was made for 10-year-olds and 25-year-olds. Because, let me retract that statement. Because 10-year-olds, since the movie has really no cohesion other than the movie starts out, and things happen like a movie does, right? Mario and Luigi get Yoshi. Rosalina gets taken. They go to the, Bowser comes to the fucking Peach Castle, whatever. God, I can't even think of the name. Like, they have the Galaxy opening. They recreate this, right? They have the Star Festival, and they're at the castle, and Bowser Jr. comes and with the UFO, like, pretty much exactly how Galaxy starts. It's a little different. It's paced differently, and it looks a bit different, of course. The movie looks beautiful as well, by the way. Like, it's probably one of the most beautiful 3D animation movies I've ever seen. Like, it looks really, really good. However, it opens up similar to this with a bit more in front of it. But I watched this cutscene the other day, and this is paced better than the movie. Like, the 13-year-old game has a better pacing in this opening, which is like, when does the cutscene start? A minute 40? So it's like a 4-minute cutscene, right? No, it's not a 4-minute. It's like chopped up. Whatever. Either way. I rewatched this after the movie because I wanted to show Coco. And I was like, bro, this was better than the movie. Which is crazy. And the movie wasn't bad. It's just the movie starts and Mario and Luigi are at the one Odyssey location. And then they go to like the next location to get like a new character. And then like a plot point, Yoshi's there, and Toad's like, I'm not really like you, Yoshi. Like, you took my spot as like the friend or like the third guy or whatever. And then that never gets like addressed really. And then they kind of go to like their new location, and then another character pops up, and then they Bowser Jr. shows up, and then something happens, and they get separated. and then there's Peach doing her thing, and Mario doing his thing. And it's like, the movie felt like a compilation of the best moments of a movie. It should have been 30 minutes longer, because there's just not much dialogue either. Like, there is some dialogue, of course, and there's some conversations characters have, but no conversation lasts more than like 20 seconds. It's like, and I know it's a kid's movie, but whatever. But at the same time, it was just like cramming in as much nostalgia. Dude, yes, cramming as much nostalgia into it as they could. Like, the plot was irrelevant, but it was mostly made to be fun for young kids and nostalgia trip for the older audience members. Yes. So, yeah. And I don't think that made the movie, like, bad per se, because I still loved it. Like, I walked out of that movie being like, that was sick. Like, it was dangling or jingling the keys in front of your face for an hour and a half. And you know what? I ate it up, dude. Like, as someone who grew up playing all the games, every single scene had a character or music or something that was a reference from maybe even a different Nintendo game, because there were other non-Mario characters in the movie, right? Fox McCloud was in it, which Glenn Powell as Fox is so good, dude. Like, he was only in it for, once again, like 2 minutes. But, bro, he was good. But yeah, like, it was cool. I really liked it. Like, dude, the fight scenes were also really cool. I'm going over what I really enjoyed. The fight scenes were sick. Like, they were animated exceptionally. Like, that was kind of mind-blowing. Especially the final fight. Some of the shots and the angles were, like, really, really sick. But yeah, it was just like a big jumble of clips of things happening. You know what it felt like? It's when you go on YouTube and watch a cut, like, every cutscene from a video game. That. Dude, actually, that's the best way to describe the movie. It's like, and it's funny that it's a video game adaptation. It's like when you go on YouTube and watch a full video game playthrough of a game, but it's only the cutscenes. So you miss, like, the person controlling the character going from one spot to the next. Like, you know, there's not too much meat in between, and you can still understand what's happening, but you miss some of the context of, like, you know, maybe how they're getting to those locations, or maybe a dialogue piece here or there. That's exactly how I haven't seen anyone say that yet. That's exactly how it felt. Because in the movie, they went to get Yoshi in the first 5 minutes of the movie, and they're on the bikes, right? And they're in the Odyssey area, which was really cool. And then they leave, right? And it shows them leaving. And then it cuts to them, like, back at the castle, I believe, at the Star Festival. And the Star Festival's happening. And then Yoshi's there, and Toad's like, I'm jealous of you. Whatever. And then the invasion happens. And then, you know, they get sent off to go to space. And it's just, yes. And it's not like you don't understand what's happening. It's very basic. They need to save Rosalina. That's the whole point of the movie. And it's Bowser Jr. Right. He wants to prove to Bowser, his dad, that he's a good kid. And that's the whole movie. But I'm not going to psychoanalyze this shit, bro. I'm going to keep it real. I liked it. But yes, it felt like every cutscene in one video, YouTube video. So that's what it was. But I liked it, dude. I'd rather just play Mario Galaxy. If you like Mario, I would say go see it. Like, go see the movie. Like, I think some of the reviews calling it, like, garbage, trash. If you don't like Mario, you're not going to give a shit. Like, realistically, you're not going to care. I still think... I can't objectively rate the movie. I just can't. It's just not possible for me to, like, try to look at it not biased. Because there's just not even a single way for someone as a 23-year-old who's been playing the games my whole life, you know? Like, since I was the first fucking memory with a video game, I can't look at this and be like, how would I feel about it if I wasn't a Mario fan? There's just no possible stance that I could give it a rating that isn't biased, because it was sick. It was so fucking cool. So, you know, right? And even if you don't play all of them, like I said, you still like it. What's your score out of 10? Oh, dude, I don't know, man. I want to see the movie this weekend, but we also got the fair happening. I would go, yeah, go see it. I still liked it. I'm not saying it's not worth it. The movie's very action forward. Felt like a lot of movement, but not really going anywhere. Don't get me wrong, I was entertained, but it felt more like a let's get the kids' attention movie. Yeah, you enjoyed the first more. I think the first is a better movie. Like, the first one's definitely like a proper movie of, you know, Mario gets introduced to the world, they explain the world, what it is, they introduce characters, you know, how those characters interact with the Mushroom Kingdom, right? And how, you know, then they tie everybody together and, you know, they say defeat Bowser. Like, it's structured much better in the first one, right? Because they actually have to kind of, like, lay the groundwork. And so I think this movie, they're like, we don't have to do any groundwork because it's Mario. And Mario is in... because it's Mario. And so they're like, boom! We're going to space, right? Peach, you go do one thing. Mario, you go do the other thing. And now they just do stuff. Just do Mario stuff. Just boom, 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 right? There's no explanation. It's just, we need to find Rosalina. Let's go here, and then talk to this person, then go here, and then fight this thing. Then do this, and then get to Rosalina and defeat it. Then defeat the big bad guy. And then we win, and then it's over. All right? There's no explanation. But, I don't know. Is it true, though, they finally canonized the connection between Peach and Rosalina? Yeah, they did. Well, I don't know if it's canonized, but I guess if the movie is technically counted as canon, yeah. I've not played a Mario game to completion since World, and I even still enjoyed it for being a Mario movie. Yeah, I was going to say, you'll still enjoy it. Okay, so actually, hold up. Let me turn the music off for a second. So, a rating out of 10, I'd give it like a 7. Actually, I'll give it a... Dude. It's like an 8.5 out... It's like an 8 out of 10. No, dude, I don't know. Actually, I can't even rate it, dude. Like, as a Mario fan, it is probably the best you're ever going to get for, like... It's like some of the most cheerful, biggest stupid smile moments I've had on my face watching a movie or interacting with Mario as like an IP ever. Not to say that the games don't bring me more happiness. The games are obviously better, but just from like oh my gosh, look at that character from Sunshine that shows up, or look in the background. There's the freaking flood machine that Professor Egad made. Like, in that sense, it's like a 9. As a Mario fan, it's like a 9 out of 10. It's honestly 9 out of 10. Like, it's a celebration of the series, and it's so cool to see everything. However, as an actual movie, I don't know. It's like a 5 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Like, but like I said, I can't really give like an actual rating. I can't objectively look at it that way because I thought it was so cool as a Mario fan. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. So being a Mario fan to watch it's mandatory? Oh, 100% yes. Dude, yeah, like, genuinely every single scene, they had characters and enemies and bosses from Odyssey, Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2. They had power-ups from Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2. They had, you know, worlds from Odyssey and Galaxy, of course. There wasn't as much Galaxy as I would have hoped, but Super Mario World reference, OG Super Mario. Dude, they have a original Super Mario Brothers, like, huge, like, massive reference that they shove in your face closer to the end of the movie. That is so cool. It's a throwback to the end, like, to the end of the first ever Mario game. It's so sick. Like, it's really cool. And you wouldn't really know if you didn't play it or know of it. Coco didn't know, and I told her after the movie, and she thought it was cool. But yeah, if you've played literally like 2 or 3 or even 4 Mario games in the past like, fucking 10 years, and yeah, you'll think it's cool. So 100%. It's like I said, it's just like a big best Mario moments over the past, is it 40 years? Has it been that long that the series has been a thing for? Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be it. 7 out of 10 was the same way I felt about the recent Hoppers movie. I thought Hoppers was actually really good. I would give Hoppers like an 8. But in the first Mario movie, the first Mario movie was probably like a 6 Or I don't know. I can't rate it. It's like, I don't know. I really don't know. Because I can't give it a fair rating. You know? It's like, because, okay, Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's. I like the games, but I'm not a super fan, right? So when I watch those movies, I want them to be scary and interesting and be similar to the games. And so I can rate that much more objectively because, like, I'm not like, oh my God, looking for these references or like, you know, plot things that hint at like future games or future movies or something. So like those movies are a lot easier to give like a ranking. And I think those are much worse than the Mario movie from like a story standpoint of like how things kind of happen. However, at the same time, I think they're technically better with, you know, how things happen. Like it's weird. I can't rate it properly. Like the Mario movie is objectively worse, I would think, because like shit just happens. But also FNAF movie, even the second one was kind of shit with how it did that. But like the scares were cool, and I like FNAF a little bit, so like that was cool. But I don't know. It's so weird. It's weird to explain it. The movie made me concerned about the Zelda movie. I can understand that. I'm not concerned about the Zelda movie though. I'm not concerned about it. I think I'm as concerned as I have been because of the people who are like making it. But honestly, I have more faith after seeing that they're doing a lot of on location filming, like where the Lord of the Rings stuff was, which was really cool. But Peaches from the first movie makes it a 9 out of 10. Dude, yeah, you can't objectively rate the FNAF. Yeah, like, I don't know, bro. It's hard to freaking talk. I don't know how to talk about it. But if I had to give a proper, cohesive thing in my best way without rambling on, it's just it's a video game, every cutscene in one YouTube video movie, without the gameplay in between, but as a movie. And you feel like it should be 20 to 25 minutes longer because things happen and that kind of cuts to, you know, what the other characters are doing, and there's not much like meat in between that really gives you like a kind of a reason, or not even a reason, but just an explanation. And so yeah. But as a Mario fan, like I said, it's pretty much like the most hype Easter egg compilation reel of all time. That's the movie? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Dude, like I said, bro, like, spoilers, Mr. Game & Watch is in the movie. Like, that's not even, but dude, they have the dragon from Odyssey. The dragon boss fight from Odyssey. The T-Rex from Odyssey. They have one of the worlds from Mario Odyssey. They have the music, the main theme playing. The power-ups from Galaxy, right? They have power-ups from Mario World. They have freaking Little Mac shows up that seemingly no one is talking about that. He shows up in the compilation of Yoshi doing shit in the background, which is insane. Star Fox is in it, which is great. Dude, there's an animation when Fox shows up. Fox McCloud, not Star Fox, but you know what I mean. When he shows up, he talks about like, you know, him and like what he like, kind of a quick rundown of him. And like, you know, just so people, if they don't know who he is, like can kind of get an idea. And so they have like a 2D animation clip, beautifully like animated of kind of like him on his ship, like from the games, but with his crew. I forget the names of all the characters because I've only played like one Star Fox game in my whole life, like 10 years ago. But it looked stunning, dude. It looked so cool. It was so sick. Like that was a cool part. But yeah, Mr. Game & Watch shows up, right? Rob is obviously in it. Yeah, it's just like so much. They got characters from Galaxy. They have the Queen Bee that shows up. Every like boss fight or mini boss is in it. Obviously, you know, Rosalina, Bowser Jr. Dude, Flood, like I said, Bowser Jr. goes and grabs like the weapon, not the Duck Hunt gun, but it's one of the other guns that they sold, that Nintendo used to sell. and he used it as a weapon, which is crazy. But so he brings up his like weapon wall, and the freaking flood from Sunshine that Mario wears is on the weapon wall. And when because you can very easily see it, I started freaking out and look over to Shane, and I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Because they obviously have the dudes from Sunshine with the big noses. I forget their names. Like, they're in it. And they also have Professor Egad's Luigi's Mansion freaking sucker, whatever that's called. That shows up. I'm like, bro, it's so much shit. It's crazy. I see less talk about the Samus ship than I think I should, but I guess you don't see her. So, yeah, I didn't notice Samus's ship in it. You love the movie? No, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Like, I would go see it again. But it also just kind of ends as well. It just kind of ends. Like, that's my actual complaint. Even as a Mario fan, like, not like gassing it up and saying it's so cool and like jingling keys in front of my face. The ending kind of just happens. And maybe that's just how Mario games end, and it really is. And actually, no. That's actually not... You know what? Mario games actually have more of a climactic payoff than the movie did. Because at the end of a Mario game, you save Peach from Bowser, right? Most of the time. Or you save someone from Bowser or something. Yeah, mostly it's Peach. And you kind of see the world like go back to normal, and then they kind of like hang out and like do whatever. But the end of the movie, they defeat everybody, whatever, things happen. And then Mario's like, all right, let me go put a freaking flag at the top of the castle, right? Like, oh, cool. And so he does, he's like, wahoo! And it ends. And you like, I remember I was just like, what? I was like, wait, it's done? I look over to Coco, I'm like, oh, what the hell? And she's like, wait, it's over? And I look over to Shane and my other friends we went with, we're like, wait, what? It's over? Like, of course they defeated the big bad, whatever, and like, that's it. But there's not really much of like, okay, so now that we did this, like, this is, like, no, it's just done. And yeah, and then the end credit scene was cool, don't get me wrong. Like, it was a cool tease. It wasn't anything crazy. Like, obviously, the character they teased at the end of the movie, it's like, yeah, obviously, that's what's going to happen. So I would say the cameos that happened during the movie are much more interesting than the end credit scene. Because it's kind of, it's obvious at that point. But thank you for the raid, Miss Fullbuster. What's up? How you doing? Hello. The jokes are funny. Dude, it was funny. Yes. Yes, actually, thank you. It was funny. Like, no kidding. I was chuckling. Some of the gags, and I'm not a big like Illumination guy. Like, I think the Minions and like Despicable Me, like, I've seen the older ones. I haven't seen the past couple movies, but I think Despicable Me is funny. Like, I think the first and second one were funny. I don't know how the newer ones are. I watched those when I was way younger, but I think it's much funnier than the first one. I think the gags are, once again, it's clearly for children, but they got me, bro. There were some good ones that were kind of like, that's a crazy thing to say in a kid's movie once or twice. But that's kind of how Illumination does it every once in a while. They kind of throw some things in there. But not it. I was giggling. It's a blink and you miss it event right when they go to the takeoff the Galaxy port. They have an F-Zero car behind them. Then they pan over to large ship and Samish. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah. I played some WoW. Oh, nice. That's cool. That's good. I'm doing good. I'm talking about the Mario movie. Yeah, the mid and the end credits were boring. Yeah, I don't think they were boring. They was just more like, okay, yes, this is obviously happening. Not a fan of Mario, but it does look cool to movies and games. Yeah, if you don't like Mario, then I wouldn't say you need to see it. But you could still check it out if it looks interesting. But if you like Mario in any capacity, I think it's a must-watch. So yeah, I'm gonna, that's it. I could talk about it for a while, but it was good. I was so happy. At the end of the day, I was very happy in a lot of ways. but it is something that you watch and you're like, okay, cool. They did all these Easter eggs to like make me happy, but there's not as much substance. It's a lot of flashy wow, jingling the keys, which I know everyone says nowadays. It's like a new buzzword. But it is truly kind of what it does. And then by the end of the movie, you're like, all right, cool. I'm ready for the next one. You don't really get to sit and like appreciate what you just watched and kind of like think about it and let it marinate, because there's not much to think about or marinate other than, oh yeah, it's Mario, and I got to see, you know, that these 10 characters that I haven't seen in the past 15 years in other Mario games. So that's kind of it, which sucks. It's kind of, it's like when you go on TikTok and you're scrolling through TikTok and you're like, oh, that was so funny. Okay, show me the next funny video right away. You're like, boom. Like, I need, like, right, I can't wait. I need to see something funny again. As soon as I finish the first video, that's kind of how the movie goes. You're like, oh, that was really cool. Lots of characters, got, like, you know, whatever. I'm ready for the next movie. And, like, you don't even want to sit and think about it because there's not much to think about. But I liked it. Whatever. Thank you for the Prime, Savvy Nina. Thank you so much. Hearts in the chat. Thank you. So as a modern Mario player, Rosalina and Luigi are a thing? Or it's definitely Daisy and Luigi, yeah. That's most of Illumination's movies? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't watched any of their stuff recently. I just remember Despicable Me 1 and 2 being, like, really good. I didn't watch Minions or anything. Well, actually, one more thing. I'm sorry. One more thing. Dude, what was that Rosalina and Peach backstory? That actually annoyed me. Because that's like 5 seconds in the whole movie. That's the whole point of the movie, is getting Rosalina back. And Peach is like, the Lumas are like, Peach, Rosalina said you would come save us if she ever got captured. And you're like, oh, cool. You know? And then there's a flashback that happens, right? And then the Lumas talk about, like, the book they were read from Rosalina or something like that. And they're like, me and Peach and Rosalina were like sisters, and they got separated at birth because of, I forget what exactly happens. And then she goes to the Mushroom Kingdom, and then they take her in, and you're like, oh, cool, right? Like, whatever. And then it's done. That's it. And then when Peach goes to Rosalina and saves her, they're like, oh my gosh, we're sisters. This is awesome. And then they show the story again in the full context, and it's literally them holding hands like, we're sisters, we were really young, we got separated, and that's it. And then it cuts, not even kidding, it cuts as soon as that's done to a scene with Mario, and there's no other explanation for the rest of the movie. I'm like, what? That's it? Just, we were sisters, and then we got separated. That's it. No, like, explanation of, like, Rosalina and her, like, connection to the Lumas and the galaxy and how, you know, they do it really well in the game. In the original game, it was cool. Even though they didn't fully explain it in the original game and how Rosalina was connected to everything, they butchered the storybook. Like, it's not even close to being the same thing, which doesn't need to be the same thing, but it just felt like there was no substance to the story, and I was like, dang. That kind of sucks, because it was always so, like, mysterious and, like, cool. And Rosalina's like, oh, like, how is she connected? She's, like, this galactic, like, princess or queen or something. And that's kind of it. I'm like, oh, man. I kind of wish they did more with her, dude. Brie Larson was great as well. But Rosalina book. That's all we need to know, apparently? I guess, man. It just sucks. Like, I forgot they did the new storybook chapters in the game. Like, look how long that is! Look, we get, like, a whole story! I haven't even seen the new stuff. But this is cool. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. But, like, this doesn't happen in the movie. And it doesn't need to be exactly all of this, but it's really just, they're on a planet, they're sisters, they get separated, that's it. And like, I'm like, damn, dude, that fucking blows. I think that was the biggest point in the movie where I was like, okay, I feel like they're going a bit too quickly through things, you know? Because I really wanted to stay away from reviews, because I was like, whatever, people, The reviews were very mixed about the first one. I'm not gonna I don't really care. I'm gonna go in and have a fun time, and I did. But yeah, they speed ran the lore. Yeah. Make Rosalina the plot device of the movie, then immediately push her aside to get another joke in about the castle. Dude. Like, honestly, Bowser Jr. Oh, we're just yapping about the Mario movie. Yeah. In the game, they say Rosalina is in some sort of time loop. Interesting. I don't remember. It's been so many years since I played Galaxy 1 or 2. I didn't play the ports for the Switch either, which I almost bought them to play with Coco because she's never played any Mario game. So I wanted to play through almost every Mario game with her. I think we will off stream, starting with like New Super Mario Brothers Wii, because it's a very good game. And they're fun. They're fun to play with other people. So I think me and her are gonna do that once we can hang out a bit more. But yeah, like it was Bowser Jr. had the most time in the whole movie. His VA also kind of grew on me. I didn't love it when they first announced it, but I liked it. It was cool. I think it was cool, for sure. But yeah, Yoshi barely did anything. He did, but like Yoshi didn't do much. Rosalina didn't really say much or do much. Bowser Jr. Honestly, Bowser had much more significance in this movie than any other character beside Bowser Jr. or Mario. Like, Bowser Jr. and Bowser probably, this is their movie. It was, bro. It was. They had so much, and that's fine because it's like they're interesting. Jack Black as Bowser is great. Bowser Jr. is very interesting as well. He was cool. But like you would have thought this was the fucking Super Mario Bowser movie, not the Galaxy movie. I was like, dude, Peach had some great moments too. Peach really had a lot of time to shine, even more than Mario, I would say. Also, she got her parasol from Mario as a gift. That was a cool thing. That was a cool tie-in. That was fun. I like that. It amuses me they just hired a big name to voice Yoshi. Only just make random sounds. Dude, Yoshi said a couple things, but Donald Glover as Yoshi, great. Did a great job. Not to say I would have preferred to, have a non-celebrity voice it because, just give voice actors voice acting jobs. However, he did a great job. I'll give him that. He did a great job. Brie Larson did a great job. Bowser Jr. grew on me a lot, actually. When I first originally heard it, I didn't love it. Chris Pratt is, whatever. But, yeah. And Wart was in the movie. That's crazy. Fucking Wart, bro. What? Birdo as well, which we knew that from the trailers, but... Barely anybody had lines but Bowser Jr. Yeah, dude. They did not say anything in this whole movie. They did not talk to each other. Like, at all. There was, no... Mario and Peach had the most conversation, right? Because that was, the most complete arc that the movie kind of had, right? It was Mario getting the present for Peach and him being, oh, me and Peach are just friends. I'm a little shy. Can't believe they kind of, did that. And then it actually had a payoff at the end. That was cool. I was like, I'm happy that happened. That was one of the few kind of payoffs, really. Was Mario and Peach. Ryan, that's good because it's Mario and Peach. But there wasn't really much for Rosalina. Star Fox? Yeah, Star Fox was great. Glenn Powell as Star Fox, as Fox McCloud, was actually highlighted in the movie. He was not in it that much, but his animation, the parts that he was in, the voice, it was so good, dude. It was so good. Also, hearing Glenn Powell was the one who brought up the idea of having Fox in the movie, bro. Gotta shout him out. I wasn't a big Glenn Powell fan for a while, but after his more recent movies and the interviews I've seen, I'm like, you know what? Maybe this guy, maybe he's chill. From a actor standpoint, right? Just from, a random dude looking in from it. I was like, maybe he's kind of cool. So, nah, he was great. Fucking sick, dude. Coco's he's hot. Coco's bro, he's kind of hot. I was like, hey, bro, you might be a furry. The Frog King from... Yeah, Wart. Yeah. Huge agree with Coco. Yeah, he was looking good, man. I can't lie. Glenn Powell also kind of looks like Fox if he was a human. I'm not going to lie. After seeing his announcement for being in the movie with the outfit on, he kind of like... He looked similar, which is funny. Unironically. They were paying celebrities by the word or something? They were cutting costs? Yeah, probably, Sam. Yeah, that's true. It seems like it. They're like, guys, we can't have them say too much because it's going to get expensive. Jesus. But alright, I've talked about it long enough. Mario movie. Wahoo! Tomodachi comes out? It does. I'm excited. But yeah. We'll be seated. We'll be seated for, you know, whatever's next from Nintendo. Well, Legend of Zelda movie. Dude, chat. I'm scared of the Zelda movie, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I think after seeing Galaxy, I think the Zelda movie will have fine pacing because I think this is like a director producer thing that they need to handle. This isn't like a Nintendo making movies thing, or maybe it is actually. We really don't know, but my optimism is. The reason the pacing is so fast is because Illumination has made plenty of children's movies, right? And working with Nintendo probably wanted to squeeze a bunch of stuff in there. And then they also probably were like, well, it's for kids, so let's, just do a lot of cool, fun stuff. So they weren't as focused on making it maybe like a super cohesive, like, emotional story. But since the Zelda movie isn't Mario, and it's not going to be like a cameo fest... Right, or it would be hard for it to be a cameo fest because Zelda is like already a cameo fest. You know what I mean? Because every Zelda game has reoccurring characters and themes and all these things. So if we do get Sheik, which I think we do, or in Ganon or in Ganondorf, and like characters from like certain villages from Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask or Wind Waker, like. They kind of appear in a bunch of games, so I think there's less of a likelihood that they just throw in a bunch of characters for the sake of it, because, like, that's kind of how Zelda's always been, because it's, just the repeating of the story of the hero and all these things. So I don't know. I think it'll be fine. Don't jinx it. Well, I'm not going to jinx it, because I have no stake in it. But I feel like Zelda will be less aimed towards kids. Yeah, I think so. I think that's why it's live action. Like, which Zelda will they be pulling from? They're probably a jumble of everything. I imagine they're going to kind of go with, like, a Ocarina of Time / Breath of the Wild mix, I would think. Yeah, because every Zelda game has, like, one major gimmick, right? I want a Dark Crystal as Zelda. Yeah, like, because Twilight Princess is like Wolf Link, right? Wind Waker is, sailing the seven seas, whatever. Majora's Mask is the mask. Ocarina of Time is the ocarina. Breath of the Wild is, the exploration. And the four, fucking deities, whatever, right? Tears of the Kingdom is kind of the same thing. The Zonai, and with the powers. So, I think... I don't know. I think once we learn what the gimmick's going to be, it's going to be a lot easier to kind of estimate how it will be. Because it needs, like, the one thing that makes it different from everything. Like, Skyward Sword, it's, like, one of the first Zelda movies or Zelda games in the timeline, right? So it's about kind of the origins of a lot of stuff, along with Fi, or Fi, however the fuck you say it. And you get to fly. But from the movie sets, it kind of looked like it was going to be more of like a, grounded Breath of the Wild, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess thing. But, it doesn't really lead us anywhere, since at the end of the day, they're all it's all Link in Hyrule Castle doing his stuff with Zelda, and then, shit happens. So, yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm like Germa. I take that as a compliment. Thank you. If they decide to do Fallen timeline, that would be wild. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just want to see a lineback call from Phantom Hourglass. Lineback call? I don't know. You should. He's awesome. I don't watch him, but I see clips. Thank you. That's nice. I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't really care how the Zelda movie is. I just need it to be... I need the music to be spot on, right? And I need the story to be emotional and have cool action. That's it. I don't like... And that's not... It's not going to be easy, but... It just... If they're filming where Lord of the Rings was being filmed, the visuals should be good, right? So that's such an easy layup to have the beautiful music from the series, correct? The orchestrated versions or something, right? Or, you know, playing it on, like, classical instruments, using, like, an ocarina. Like, we have the visuals, seemingly, or that's what they're trying to do. So pairing the music up with the beautiful visuals should be easy, because the only way you're going to get the sense of scale from something like that is having, obviously, you know, a grand group of instruments or band or whatever the fuck. And then just make the story good. Like, just make it... Just give it a normal story arc, bro. Like, that's it. That's not going to be easy, but I don't need anything fancy. Like, actually. Like, it really doesn't need to be fancy. I don't need, you know, the Tears of the Kingdom goopy arm. Like, just do Ocarina of Time. Right? Just do that. Link, Zelda, Sheik, you know. She gets taken by Ganon, and he's got to go get the emeralds, or I don't even fucking know the specifics, bro. I'm a fake Zelda fan. Right? And the deities and the sages. Like, just do that. Because that's, like, so easy. Right? That's just going to one location to the next, and just... the easiest layup for beautiful scenery, you know? It's like, oh, we gotta go to the fucking forest, right? Or we gotta go see the Zora. So it's like, boom, nice blue, beautiful area, water. Forest, lots of greens, right? The Gorons, lots of, you know, browns, mountain, volcanoes. Like, you have a just easy layup for fucking color palettes, bro. Like, it's just that's all it is. Just go boom, boom, boom. Each location, you know, things are happening, and then we go back. We get the Master Sword. We fight Ganon. It's over. Like, just do that. Like, don't do anything fancy, bro. Just come on. Like, surely it's not gonna be that bad, right? Just a basic ass hero's journey. I'm not saying I could make it good. Trust me, but like. They really can't complicate it. You know, they really can't. Just straight up copy fucking like Lord of the Rings, dude. Just they're on the locations right now. Just copy all of it. I don't care. just please. The color grading, I think it will look good. I think it will. Yeah. Nintendo's really big on, like, visuals. You know? Like, with their games and even the Mario movies, like, they look very good. And I know it's animated, so it's a bit different, but I think that's... specifically with the Mario stuff, the Mario games don't have as much substance, because a lot of it goes into the gameplay, right? And so that's what Nintendo's kind of always focused on, is gameplay. How does the player feel playing this, right? And when you strip that, which is the number one thing Nintendo, like, mainline games focus on, because they've said that a billion times. They make the games and the gimmicks first. Then they make the story. When you strip that away, and it turns into a movie, then the thing that they usually focus on, you know, second or third, is now the main thing, because the you know, audience can't play the movie. So I think that's why, like, the Mario stuff isn't as, like, cool, or maybe not as, you know, good as people expected, because Mario's never been that. And I think Zelda's, you know, has a big focus on gameplay, especially with, you know, the Switch era. However, the older ones, a lot of it, you know, was presentation, in the music and the emotions and how you feel in all the different locations. So, like, if that is now their priority, assuming that's what it is, then maybe we're in for a better Zelda movie. But I don't know. It's also live action, so like, there's a reason they did live action, right? The reason it's not going to be CGI. There must be some sort of reason other than just being like, hey, we're going to do one animated, one live action, right? Like maybe that's how they thought of it, because it's Nintendo, who knows? But there's surely something deeper than them just being like, well, Illumination will do this, and then they'll do this. And then because we don't need to do another animated movie, right? Like, I don't know. There's got to be some point to it other than just having something in live action be live action. You know? I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. When was the last time Hollywood made something like Lord of the Rings, though? I couldn't tell you. Dune. The Dune movies are pretty extravagant. I don't like the Dune movies as much, but from like a scale standpoint and like visuals, the Dune movies are pretty close. From what I could think. They're extremely different movies in so many different ways, but just from like, I think, a grand scale of things, that might be it. But maybe not. Maybe that's a bad comparison. I don't know. Have you seen the Harry Potter series trailer? No, I didn't see it. I saw some screenshots, but I don't really care. I don't really care. But yeah, I did see people complain about it, yeah. Which, why the fuck are they remaking it, man? Just watch the old movies. They're good. They're good-ass old movies. But yeah, sorry. Ramble. I love Zelda more than Mario, dude. So I'm more worried about that. I think the Zelda actress will be good, though. Weren't people complaining? No. I think people were wanting Hunter Schafer as Zelda, because Hunter Schafer is very elvish looking. She would play a great Zelda. And then there's people making fun of Hunter Schafer because she's trans, and so there's that group of people saying that, like, they didn't want her to be Zelda because of that. And then when this new girl was casted, right, because Link and Zelda from the movie, they're both, like, kids. Like, they're both very young. I think one, well, I guess they're not kids. They're both adults, technically. But I think Link, I think his name's Ben something. He's, like, 18 or 19. And then the girl who's playing Zelda, I think, is, like, 20. I could be wrong, but they're young. And so when she was casted as Zelda, people were upset that Hunter wasn't casted. And then it was like people being mad Hunter wasn't casted thing versus people being mad that Hunter's trans and making fun of that. It was like this whole thing, but I don't know. The casting looks great. The casting for the character, everyone looks good. Like the screenshot they showed like last year, like the single thing they posted of them in the field, they look freaking awesome. So, as a huge Zelda fan, it looks lovely, you know. So if I'm happy, I'm sure that a lot of other Zelda fans are happy. But I don't know. I think the only thing that like people complained about was the whole Hunter Schafer thing, because they were like transphobic. That's pretty much it. I think. I don't think there'd be another reason. But yeah. But yeah. What do you think the next Nintendo thing will be, chat? Like, do you think after the current Mario, do you think they're going to make a third Mario movie? Or do you think they're going to make like a Super Mario movie 2? Well, 2 just came out. So they're making 3? Or do we think they're going to the Donkey Kong movie? Because Donkey Kong was not in that shit, bro. The Sims live action? Okay, well, Nintendo does not own The Sims. That is a thing, though. But Def Smash, you think? You think so? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I think, didn't they also kind of say they weren't going to do that? Which, granted, doesn't mean they're not. because they can't say yes, even if they would. But with the amount of cameos, I feel like it. I don't know. Maybe one day, but not next. Definitely not next. How would they even do a Smash Brothers movie? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that wouldn't really make sense. I think the cameos are just for the sake of, like, being like, hey, we don't know if this character will ever show up again in anything, so let's put him in this movie to celebrate their inclusion. Or celebrate them. You know? They want out of the Smash Bros. Mario character cameos for no reason? Honestly, I have to disagree. I think they do add it for no reason. I think they add it for, we want people to be excited about this character and have more reasons for people to go to see the movie. Because they weren't going to include Fox originally, and then Glenn Powell was like, we should do Fox. And they're like, yeah, cool, it fits into the movie. So I think, you know, one, they're not going to add stuff if it doesn't fit into the movie. But on the contrary, they did add a lot of stuff that just is there to be there at the same time. So you could, right? But I don't know. Mario 3 based on Sunshine. Nintendogs live action. It's like Marley and Me, where they're gonna kill the dog at the end of the movie. I think had some games that wasn't straight up main Nintendo characters. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think Mario, we're either going to get Mario 3 will be Odyssey. I think that's the next thing. Because, or Sunshine. Yeah, Sunshine would be cool. But it's either like a Sunshine movie where they go on vacation and they're on like the island, right? Or it's just Odyssey. And somehow Cappy, you know, happens. Cappy shows up somehow. And then it's just kind of them, you know, traveling from... but I don't... That wouldn't... That would just be Galaxy again. Right? But they're just on the world. Like, I don't know. Because Daisy... Yeah, I don't know, dude. It might just be Odyssey, bro. And they just have to go, like, save another kingdom or something. Because if they're going to do Odyssey, they can have Sunshine in the movie, right? Like, they don't need a Sunshine movie. If they want to do an Odyssey thing, which is, you know, exploring the world, they could have them go to Delfino Island. You know? And that could be part of the movie for 2 fucking minutes, because that's probably all the time that it will get. But, yeah. Because I think after the 3rd Mario movie, there's no more. You just don't do anything else. You do spin-offs, right? Like a Donkey Kong, right? I think Donkey Kong's next. I think that's why he wasn't in this movie that much. Donkey Kong spin-off series or movie. I think that'd be the next thing. Because Donkey Kong, they're pushing that shit, dude. Especially with the new games and whatnot. Like, they want him to be big stuff again. Especially with the Universal parks, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like a Mario or Donkey Kong movie would be cool. And you add a bunch of the rare characters in. Maybe squeeze one more Mario movie in. I mean, regular Mario, just straight up Galaxy. I don't think they're too concerned with the realistic progression. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows, dude? Who fucking knows? But Daisy, with the Daisy inclusion, I think, yeah, Odyssey would make the most sense. I mean, the amount of games Mario has a Princess Peach being taken by Bowser, they have enough money to make a Lord of the Rings style. Well, yeah, I know that they have plenty of material. I'm just thinking, like, from a Nintendo standpoint in wanting to, like, grow their series and including all this stuff in their movies. Like, there's got to be a reason behind it. You know? Like, Donkey Kong having a huge mainline title after so many years and being in the movie isn't just because they want, you know, because they felt like it. Like, there's a reason, right? Like, they want to grow the brand and, you know, it not just be a Mario thing. So I feel like they would use this opportunity to make, like, a Donkey Kong movie or Luigi's Mansion, which that would be like a fucking TV series or something. But it's just hard because Illuminations the studio, right? So they can only make so many things at once. So it's not like they can work. They were like, maybe they could, but make like a third Mario movie along with like a spin-off, along with any Illumination thing that isn't Nintendo related. Like maybe the studio's that big. I have no idea, but I don't know how much they can do at the same time. Because pretty much they worked on this movie as soon as the first one came out, and I don't think that's going to be the case with this one to the third one. But I could be wrong. I don't fucking have a clue. But they did say they want a steady cadence of non-game things, every year. So Zelda's next year, 2028. Who knows what that will be? Probably a TV show. Probably. Like a Hulu exclusive or fucking something. I don't know. Animal Crossing? What is a horror movie? I don't fucking know, dude. Who knows? Who knows? Know what I'm excited for? The back rooms. The back rooms. And actually, that's pretty much it. There's no other video game movies I give a shit about. No, not really. Nintendo's kind of like the big thing. Sonic? I guess Sonic, bro. Sonic 4. That comes out this time next year. Zelda's March of next year. Less than a year away. And then Sonic is May of next year. Sonic 4. So that's kind of crazy. That's kind of, interesting. I'm excited for Sonic 4. Sonic 3 is really good. So, hope it's all about Amy. Yeah, I'm sure it will. The Sonic movies just get better and better. I'm not going to lie. So I feel like if the trend continues, and I hope it does continue, 4 should be, really good. Because I liked 3. It had issues, of course. But it was a huge improvement from the second one. Less humans, more focus on Sonic and the characters. Action was better. Everything. It was great. But I don't know. But I'm not a huge Sonic guy, so it's like I'm not sitting here anxiously waiting for it. I'll see it when it comes out. The Backrooms live action? Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. A24 comes out in a month and a half, dude. Soon, bro. Soon. It was thanks to the Sonic community for telling the studios to reduce Sonic. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, sorry. That was a long ramble about the Nintendo stuff. I don't have to say sorry, but damn. I really thought one more thing. I really thought Blue Mario was going to show up. I thought for sure, dude, that Blue Paint Evil Mario, whatever you call him from Sunshine, was going to show up. I 100% thought that's what would pop at the end of the movie when they had the paintbrush instead of Mr. Game & Watch. I was hoping that maybe they painted a Blue Mario and it was not evil and it helped them or something, or Bowser Jr. did that. But they got to leave some things for the third movie, so that would be sick, right? Oh shoot, Mario's evil now. He's going around terrorizing all these kingdoms. Right? And Daisy's Mario, what is, I need to find Mario and lock this guy up. And he's whoa, that's not a Mia. I'm a Chrissa Pratta. I'm a good guy. And he goes around to each kingdom, Odyssey style, Island Delfino, all these places. And he fixes the issues that Blue Mario caused from Bowser Jr. painting him up. Come on now. Now that sounds cool. And then that's how you add Daisy and other characters in. Is because there's now a reason to go to each other place around the world and talk to these people and grow a connection with everybody, is because he needs to fix his reputation. Dude, that sounds pretty good. Come on. And then that, once again, it gives them even more opportunities to fucking jingle the keys in front of your face, because each world they go to, or each, part of the world they travel to, they can fucking throw in more characters. God forbid they go to the Donkey Kong Kingdom. Freaking Kong Country. And we see Diddy Kong and, Cranky. And then we go to freaking Professor E. Gad, right? And he's there with the ghosts. Little cameo with Mr. Gad. That would be pretty cool. And, then Little Mac comes back. Fox can come back somehow. Kirby. Then at the end of the movie, Kirby teaser. Boom, baby. Fucking Kirby movie. Okay? Super Mario Kirby movie. It's leaning towards a Smash. I don't think Smash Brothers movie is happening. It's just not happening. I would love to be proven wrong, but there's no fucking shot in hell. At least not for 10 years. Like 5-10 years. We need like 6 other fucking movies to come out first. Because what? You think it's going to be like Spider-Verse? Where they have like Link from live action come through a portal. Mario's like, Link, the Smash Brothers initiative. And it's like the live action guy being like, whoa, well, this is so crazy. Like, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. You can't have a Mario Smash Brothers with only Mario characters or like no fucking Link, right? That'd be crazy. I think what they are doing with the movies and what they did with Galaxy is like, that is your Smash Brothers movie. Here's all these characters showing up somehow. Like, there you go. Like that's essentially what it is. Because they don't need to make a whole movie on that. They don't have to waste their time and money on making a movie like that, right? They can make a Mario movie, but then also add those characters in, and you get best of both worlds. They save money, save time, and these movies take forever to make, so it's like they don't want to waste like 3 to 4 years on that, if not more, when they could be doing something else. I don't fucking know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm yapping. This is fun to talk about, though. Write that down. Dude, thank you for the follow, Stinky Baby and Totem. Bro, the Odyssey idea is actually good. I'm not, like, that is a good idea. Like, genuinely. Genuinely, I think that's a banging-ass idea. Like, if that's what the third movie is, I will be like, yeah, that makes sense. I fucking cooked. And if it's not like that, I'm going to be like, that's a failure on their part.